Yes, we've got quite a little battle actually going on in Class A1 as it stands. Tony Adams is comfortably up with his practice time of 37.11. However, second, third and fourth is a bit of the battle of the Daves. Warner, Garnett and Wilson, and they are covered by 0.02 of a second on their fastest practice runs, so 38.59 to 38.61.
Here's another David on the line, or off the line now. This is David Meek in the MX-5, a relatively modern one and sounding very crisp.
It does. It's crisper than the bag of crisps, this one. It's lovely.
Yes, it does sound very nice. David Lowe back here in crossing box, and David Meek past me, nice and tidy, into bottom S at 72 miles an hour.
Lots of chirruping of tyre noises as the Mazda is enthusiastically hurled round the S's, rasping exhaust notes, a very old school 2 litre sort of a sound. Accelerating away now, and he crosses the line.
With a time of 39.02, and on the line is this Renault Clio 182 of Peter Malloy.
This will be Dave Warner. Peter's a non-starter, unfortunately. So Dave making his way through Kennel.
Yep, through Kennel, Dave Warner. Enjoying himself, as always. Turns into bottom S now. Ali, he's at 76.
76 into, that's not bad. Still getting his head round. Oh, he got very wide at the bottom S. He had to get out of the power. Though that's going to cost him a bit of momentum up the finishing straight. He's over the line.
Ends up with a 38.9. Here's David Wilson in the 1900cc Peugeot 205. These things, the value has just gone crazy.
It is. We were talking about them being a good entrant to hill climbing, but actually, you know, finding a good one these days is an expensive business. Anyway, nicely round bottom S, nice and tidy. Oh. Pulling around a little bit on the exit, but got it straight and narrow now and over the line.
To record a time of 37.17, here's David Garnett in the Clio Cup 182.
David Garnett pedalling it nicely up through the kink now. Brakes, bottom S, 77 miles an hour.
Yeah, David, little bit circumspect on his way round bottom S, nicely round top S though, nice and clean. 10.8 seconds through the S's, and he's over the line.
David records a 38.09, not quite as quick as David Wilson. What can Tony Adams do in the Elise?
Oh, very close to the bank as he comes through Kennel, but misses everything. Through the kink now, turns, brakes in, 81 into bottom S.
81 into bottom S, Tony with me now, running over the sawtooth curb at bottom S, bouncing over the drain cover as well. Nice looping line, and now accelerating away. This will probably be a Toyota engined one, I suspect, over the line.
He's quicker, 35.31 for Tony. Bob Penrose leads away A2 in the supercharged Mini Cooper.
Yeah, the Class A2 with the supercharged Mini Cooper, as you say, Chris. Through the kink, nicely done. 65 into bottom S.
Yes, I've driven one of these ones. It's very nice to have that. They pull very nicely and consistently, and they've got that lovely mechanical supercharger whine going on as well, which is a very pleasing thing. Neatly round the S's, and he'll be over the line any moment.
It's not as quick, it's 41.87. Here's Peter Herbert. Now, can he qualify for the runoff?
Peter Herbert, really good getting it wound up. He was extremely quick in his earlier practice this morning, wasn't he? Turns into bottom S now at 83 miles an hour.
Yeah, pitching it in nicely. Keeping the flat six burbling away. Using all of the torque, getting up to the top of the rev range. Flicks up a ratio and over the line.
To record 35.8. Here's Simon Durling going home in the VW estate. Four-wheel drive gives him a 2.21 start. He's been told it produces about 300 horsepower. He's been told it's relatively easy to get it up to 400.
Yes, has all control through four-wheel drive systems. Now, of course, oh yes, he has to get right out of the power. Far too enthusiastic round top S. Accelerating away. Now, of course, these were quite fruity when they first arrived, but the scene's gone mad since.
He's followed by Roger Banks. Simon does a 35.39. I think Roger has developed this to produce much more power.
Yeah, going very nicely. Again, just brushes the bank into Kennel, breaks into bottom S at 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, it steers very nicely, very neutral. But yes, as he gets his foot down, the car does seem to leap away with a shade more purpose than Simon's. He's over the line.
Yeah, it's quicker. 32.82 and a speed of 95 compared with 84. Here's Jonathan Maycock with a turbocharged MX-5.
Bottom S, 85.
Yeah, John's been developing this over the last few years. Very potent little car he's got now. Very tail happy on his way round top S. But I think he might have grabbed 5th rather than 3rd on his way out, and he's over the line.
With a 35.08. So Roger Banks, I think, leads A2 at the moment. Now we're into Class B. Tim Higgins, Westfield. Vauxhall Power.
Tim Higgins, Westfield, 83. Bottom S.
Yes, very modest entrance of Westfields and Caterhams compared to what we're used to. Neatly round the S's though, and now accelerating away, presumably a K-Series engine over the line.
34.93. John Pick in the AMS Motaya, which is basically Impreza bits and pieces in a very light body.
Yes, and a very strong body as well, because he's had 1 or 2 fairly substantial tonks here and got away with it all.
Yes, I remember, I think it was this meeting last year, he managed to go thump into the rector cells at bottom S, just reversed out and kept going. He's over the line.
Quick 2, 34.22. Opel Tigra, well known. Is it ex-Rallycross, this car? Ian Sargent driving it.
I think we'd need to look at an Eddie for that one.
Yeah, all thought to be a short circuit car, Eddie's just said in my other ear. So the Tigra passes me, just brushes against the kink, 67 into bottom S.
Yeah, bounces his way over the curb into bottom S, just feathering the throttle gently on his way in between the S's. Now starting to squeeze the tap open a bit, shifts up another gear. Ooh, finds his way up to 4th even, over the line.
39.24. Now I think we've seen this orange car somewhere before.
Just possible, Chris, isn't it? Yes, certainly rings a bell. Andrew Russell in the lovely, it's just been around so long. Lovely little motor car, 81 miles an hour.
It has actually, we have figured out, Andrew Russell and this car have been competing all of my life. And that's not actually hyperbole, that's a fact. Neatly around the S's and over the line.
That's about 19 years, isn't it?
17, thank you.
35,
yeah, right.
35.18 for Andrew. Tim Dennis.
Yeah, Tim Dennis in one of the little minis. Wound up as always. Revs soaring away. And into bottom S at 87 miles an hour.
Yep, pitching it in, bumping his way over the curbs. I think he had 2 wheels off the deck then. Screaming its way round top S. Lots of negative camber on the rear wheels, I've just noticed. And but he's over the line already. Swift.
All the threes, 33.33, followed by Brian of the Dennis family.
Yeah, this one is even more bizarre than the last one, isn't it? I suppose some bits did actually come out of Longbridge, but I'm not sure which.
Door hinges, perhaps?
Door hinges could be 64 into bottom S. No, I'd have thought it'd be quicker than that.
Were minis built at Cowley, or am I going mad?
No,
only the BMW ones.
Oh, right, okay, fine.
You're too young to remember.
Yes, he is. He said only 17, as we've just pointed out.
Over the line.
Brian's done a 39.14. Paul Jones on his way in the Exige with a 1900. I think that's a Toyota, isn't it?
Yes, almost certainly it's a 1900.
92, bottom S.
Neatly round through the dappled sunlight now in the S's. Lots of light and shadow. Accelerating away into the bright sunshine now and over the line.
Good time, 32.33 for Paul. Our Aston Martin GT4, double driven, so it's Andy Fraser at the wheel this time. Ex-race car, which is why it's left-hand drive, all the GT4s were.
Yes, well, I don't think it's an ex-race car. It is a race car as birthed from the factory, but I don't think it's ever been raced. It's always ever been hill climbed.
It is. It's only been owned by Andy and Tim, and they've only ever done this in it. So nice and tidy round top S, accelerating away over the line.
34.25. Now Laura Wardle, very rapid Porsche, which she shares with John Williamson.
Yeah, Porsche past me. Just gently brushes the bank at Kennel. Just misses the concrete at the kink, 83.
Oh, Laura very rapidly into bottom S there. Nice little lift going round top S as well. Car wearing number 35 on his roof. They've been doing this for 35 years, and he's over the line. She's over the line.
With a 33.77. Joy Hoyle sharing with Ash Mason this much developed Westfield. Supercharged bike engine.
Yes, here's Joy. The roll cages do an absolute nothing for the line of these things, but you can understand why they're there. Into bottom S, 90.
Yeah, nice and tidy from Joy. Very neat indeed. An instructor at Leighton Park Driving School, I think, accelerating away over the line already.
30.92, 112 over the line. Good run by Joy. End of a batch. They'll all come down. Joy is sharing with Ash Mason. Ash, who has this year retired from Bentley, where he looked after their classic fleet, but nevertheless down at Goodwood Festival of Speed, he was slotted in to drive a great mixture of Bentleys, including the Medtega and the GT car, the new Vantage GT, which I think he did drive up the hill.
Of course.
That's a tough life as well, isn't it?
It's hard, isn't it?
Yes.
It's Bentley's 100th birthday this year, of course.
Yeah,
don't forget.
it was that day at Festival of Speed was Bentley's birthday.
So the course car is coming up the hill. It's being driven with great enthusiasm as ever by Campbell. I'll give you a quick rundown of the classes where we are so far. However, we do have a couple more people to wade in on one or two. So as it stands currently in the road going up to 2 litres, that's A1. In third is Dave Garnett in the Little Clio, 38.09. Second is David Wilson, 37.17 in the 205. Tony Adams is 35.31. He's currently leading the way. However, Rob Wilson is to come in the Little 205, and he is a handy peddler. So he'll have something to wade in there, no doubt. Over 2 litres, Simon Durling in third in the Golf Estate, 35.39. Jonathan Maycock is second at a 35.08. There is more to come from that car, however. He had a bit of a bum gear change on the last run. And Roger Banks in the other Golf R is currently leading the way in a 32.82. Road going specialist cars, Timothy Higgins is currently second in the Westfield, 34.93. John Pick leading the way in the Mataya, 34.22. Up to 1400 modified cars, Ian Sargent in third, 39.24. The Tigra. Andrew Russell's Ginetta is second in a 35.18. And Tim Dennis leading the way in that Mini Cooper in a 33.33. Class C2, we haven't had Paul Meadows, but I don't think he's running today. So Brian Dennis in the Mini, 39.14. Then Paul Jones leading the way, 32.33 in the Exige. And we've only seen Andy Fraser and Laura Wardle of the modified cars up to 2 litres, so we will see the rest of them in a little bit. Some great cars in that class. Yep, all of the cars now coming down past me.
Were you there, Ali, yesterday when I told Eddie how many people had clocked into the live stream from Goodwood Festival of Speed?
You did. It was some unholy number.
It's amazing. 150 million apparently.
You see, I thought I had done quite well. I think I peaked at around 60,000 for the Masters and Gubbio, and then you've just blown me clean out the water with that one.
I don't know how they. Well, I suppose there's a way of recording the number of people who click onto it.
Yes, I suppose. Yes, they can track through IP addresses and all sorts of highly technical things. And I'm starting to get out of my depth talking about it already.
But it has become a massive event.
It's a phenomenon, isn't it?
Effectively, it's become the UK motor show, and the manufacturers put a huge investment into it. But what I liked most about it was the Festival of Speed Future Lab looking at the spin-offs from automotive technology for the future. Amazing, including in the area of medicine.
Really?
Yeah, I met a young woman who works for McLaren. She is working on a way of diagnosing asthma in children before any symptoms become apparent, and that's a spin-off from motor racing technology. Hard to believe.
That is a curious one.
It is, isn't it? And you know, Williams Grand Prix helped train the teams in operating theatres on efficient movement, you know, based on their experience from pit stops.
I was going to say, is that so they can now do a heart transplant in 1.93 seconds?
I think so, yes.
Well, they can change the wheels on the trolley anyway.
Car coming to the line is a yellow Porsche, which should be Paul Howell's, kicking off Class C3. It's a fairly early Porsche with a 3.8 litre, of course the famous flat six engine behind the rear wheels, so lots of traction, getting some heat into those rear tyres. Apparently quite soft front suspension, by the way it leapt up on its springs every time he put the clutch in.
He's got ydean.co.uk on the back, and that is obviously a rally down in the Forest of Dean in the Wye Valley near his neck of the woods in Colford. So I imagine he might do some less sealed surface work with it as well.
I guess so. Smartly off the line with the 2.06, showing the advantage of all that traction.
Yes, really getting it powered into Kevill crossing. Up for the kink now, and breaks into bottom S at 87 miles an hour.
Yeah, with me already. Pictured it in nicely. Tail has a little bit of a wag in between the S's. And nice and cleanly out of the S's. Those big old tyres getting all of their traction down. Flying away up the straight over the line.
31.02 for Paul. Here's Andy Tomkins in the well-known Porsche Targa that for many years was matte black. Now it's all shiny.
Yes, he is, as you say, we remember it in matte black guise years and years ago. Looks very tidy now, lots of lightweight panels in it, 80 into bottom S.
Yeah, nice and neat. Nice, very pointy front end, very sharply done. Little wag of the tail on his way out of top S. It is a Porsche 911 after all. And over the line.
With a 34.96. Now, interesting car on the line. This is an Audi 80 Quattro with a turbocharged 1700cc engine. So this precedes the sort of S3.
Oh, hello,
It's
guys.
incredible. Oh,
He's hit the bank and he's got it back under control.
But he's left something behind on the way into Kennel.
Yes, he's lost bits of his front splitter and all sorts of things, I think.
I don't want to say it too much, chaps, but it's also raining up here.
Ooh.
Yes, he's got the chin spoiler is now dragging under the car. It's fouling the tyre as well. Oh, he's not going to be happy with the results of this when he gets over the line, and he's over it now.
It's a 31.54 despite all that. He was way wide and up the right-hand bank on the way into Kennel, and there's mud and gubbins all over the track, so a bit of a pause while it gets cleaned up.
Well,
yes, I don't think he's left any more debris beyond. No, everyone's saying, all marshals are saying it's all clear.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of fiberglass. It looked a bit more substantial from this distance, but it's clearly its front splitter.
yes, there's a line on the track. I think it is merely just a mark caused by the whatever part it was dragging on the floor.
Gave the resident pheasants a bit of a jump.
I'm sure he did. There's just this very, very fine mist descending from the sky. It's still quite light up here. But there is just a tiny hint of moisture. It might just be more psychological rain at the moment than anything. No, they're shaking their heads. It's rain. I think.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't last long. On the line, another, I was going to say relic of the past, but that wouldn't be fair. But it's a Chevette HSR of Gary Morgan. Don't see many Chevettes around nowadays.
Yes, it's of that sort of 1970s area, like the Sunbeam Talbot, where the
Lotus, somebody
yeah,
Lotus.
that's the one.
Yeah.
And where they're all just sort of slightly Larry, unhinged,
Yeah,
little punk hot hatches, rather than the slightly more slick German ones you get these days.
Yeah, Ali, your ma had a Vauxhall Chevette for a time.
Someone had to.
Someone had to, yes. But it was nice and cheap. And it was very brown as well, I remember.
I know the shade.
It's coming back into fashion, isn't it? Like grey, suddenly. Everybody wants a grey car. And I've never understood that because you don't exactly stand out in the fog.
No, I see a lot of Audi S3s with that sort of almost looks like it's primer coloured.
Yes, and Ford Focus RSs.
Quite a bit of debate going on at Kennel. No, I think everyone's happy now, right?
There's a lot of brushing going on.
Oh, yes, there are, isn't there? Sorry, I hadn't seen that. There's lots of stuff going on down there. He was doing quite a demolition job, wasn't he, on the bank?
We now have a red flag at the top of the hill.
I was pleased and a bit surprised to see that he made his way around Kennel okay. I thought he'd lost it.
Yes, it did look quite dramatic from head on, I can tell you as well.
Track nicely cleaned up. Thanks, marshals. So pretty soon. Have we still got a flag at the top?
Yes, we do. There's no indication of what's occurring, but it's only popped out in the last 5 seconds. I think we're having a... we're having a reorganise, I think, of cars up there. Because I've just seen 2 cars pop up over the crest of the hill, then disappear again. Which were the 2 Porsches.
But flags are now coming in. Whistles are being blown. Gary Morgan will fire up the Chevette on the line.
Right, well, what's happened is Keith Murray's radiator has gone bang up in top paddock. So that's the reason we've got the hold up.
Ah. So I presume he's deposited
some fluids.
Fluids, and it's very slippery stuff. It depends if it's pink or blue, but
well, sometimes it's waterless, isn't it, nowadays?
Yes, indeed. I've never used that. Have you used any waterless coolant?
No, but I believe A, it doesn't corrode, and B, it has a high boiling point.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I used to have to drain the water out. When I had a BMW M12 engine in the March, I had to drain the coolant out after every meeting because it had titanium water pump blades which dissolve in water.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Interesting design concept.
Yeah. Probably saved 0.5 gram of weight.
Flags in, kids.
Good, okay. Kids, I like that. As the stamp collector said, philately will get you nowhere.
Oh dear. Chris is available for birthdays and bar mitzvahs, everybody.
Chevette sounding very crisp and looking good and quick. A little bit of dust at Kennel, but that's okay.
Yes, here's Gary. Just not quite brush it against the bank. Nicely done. Into the kink, middle of the road, breaks into bottom S at 82.
Yeah, neatly in, kills a bit of speed on his way, and little wag of the tail. Oh, understeers a bit round the top S as well, but gets the power down. Nice sounding engine heading off into some ominously dark clouds over the line.
With a 34.51. Here's the Aston again. Yeah, built by ProDrive for the British GT4 series. It's Tim Painter at the wheel this time, who's driven 6R4s, Porsche 997 Cups. He's also building a lightweight Aston Martin Vantage to GT4 type spec for hill climbing.
And a Gould as well, as Eddie's just told me.
Oh, wow. Healthy V8 sound of the Aston on its way up in the hands of Tim Painter.
Yes, here's Tim. Revs rising as he comes under my box here. Lovely deep-throated burble. Just misses the concrete. Beautifully done. Breaks into bottom S at 81 miles an hour.
Yeah, nice and tidy from Tim. Nice and tidy around top S as well. Deep bellow of that is at a 4.7 litre V8 in those cars. Nicely over the line.
33.47. Jonathan Williamson off the line in 2.02.
Yes, a little bit of a burble as he put on the overrun as he went through Kennel into bottom S now, 84.
Yeah, good old... yeah, going round nicely. Good old Porsche in its rear engine traction. Neatly round, and he is over the line.
A 32.97, fractionally quicker than Laura did in the same car. Robert Wilson with you already.
Yeah, Robert's with me. Nice line through crossing. Doesn't bother the bank. Into bottom S now. No dramas at all, 77 miles an hour.
But
Yeah.
we've got a red flag at the bottom.
Rob is back on page 24, member of Class A1. He's the last runner to go. 35.31 will get him first. 37.17 will get him second. He's over the line.
And Rob's time is a 37.95. I don't know if we got pheasant trouble, but certainly there's some activity at Kennel. Maybe ushering a bird out of the way. Or is there a problem with the gate there?
I think it might be a problem with the gate. Can't see what's going on from up here.
Meanwhile, waiting on the line is Jeff Twemlow in his much modified Subaru Impreza, all the way up from Cannonstown in Cornwall. Jeff has also got an interesting sports racer called a Seika, which is sort of a GT racer with Impreza mechanicals. Whatever was causing a red flag no longer is, so we'll be underway again in a few ticks. Jeff, 2 seconds exactly, 1G of acceleration off the line.
Yes, the bite of the four-wheel drive doing its job here. Nicely in the middle of the road. Absolutely smack it in the middle of the road. Nicely done. Breaks into bottom S now at 80.
Yeah, it starts turning in while still on a track driving technique. Keeps it in the one gear going around the S's. Now just letting the turbo spool up and take him up over the line.
34.12, hold on to your hats. Here's Nigel Elliott in the turbocharged TR7 V8.
Yeah, got Nigel. Twin turbochargers, an absolute beast and a half this car is. Whoa, back end kicks in the kink, breaks into bottom S now, 91.
Yeah, charging in, nice and tidy through bottom S. It belies quite a lot of activity going on in the cockpit though, lots and lots of steering, flying away now over the line.
31.53, 108 over the line for Nigel. Here's another 911, the quick one in the hands of Andrew Norris. 3.3 litre supercharged Carrera.
Yeah, washes it right out to the right-hand side of the track beyond Kennel. Oh, hangs on to it beautifully coming through crossing. Into the kink now and brakes at 91.
Yeah, all running very, very deep into bottom S. Has to get off the power. Gets it accelerating away now, nice and tidy. Flying away, oh, big puff of smoke on the upshift, over the line.
31.4, 101. Stephen Moore in this Evo. They could be developed to produce something like 700 horsepower.
They're incredible motor cars, these Evos, aren't they? Seems to have got sort of Jan Speed labels all over this one. Just brushes the concrete into bottom SS at 91.
Yes, it's one of the ultimates, along with the Imprezas of the sort of the late 90s rally rep heroes, which haven't been improved on in my opinion, but I would say that over the line.
In the 20s, 29.91 for Stephen. Great climb in the Evo. On the line, hold your horses again, Mike Turpin in the incredible, I think, X-Rally Cross VX 220. It's dramatic, to say the least.
It's waiting for him to burst into sight. Here he is, through kennel, into crossing now. Oh, just brushes the bank at crossing. Beautifully done. He shaved about 100th of a second off there into bottom S now, 95.
He had a leery old time of it in bottom S this morning. Much better this time round, flicking the car one way than the other in a nice, almost balletic movement in between the corners, and he's over the line.
30.73 for Mike. Brings us to Class D with Jerry Neary kicking it off.
Yes, here's Jerry. No dramas at all, nicely done. Classic stuff, 74 miles an hour into bottom S.
Yeah, smooth application of the brakes, squeezing the throttle out. Takes a bit of a lift on his way round for top S. Very little steering going on at all. Nice and smooth and preserving momentum, and he is over the line.
With a 36.35, Phil Goff, a Hayabusa-powered Caterham, very lightweight, enough power.
Yeah, lots and lots of power there. Sounding very crisp and beautiful. Just brushes against the concrete, 88 miles an hour.
Nice and tidy on his way, bit wide on his way through bottom S, and that compromises line for top S, so he hasn't carried as much speed as he possibly could have done, but he's out over the line now.
32.98. Here's Mr. Pennington, who doesn't tell us what his first name is. Maybe you know.
No, he's Tim.
Tim.
He's
I understand
Tim.
He goes by, yes.
Whoa, back end just flicked out, hung on to it nicely. Past Kennel in through crossing now. Into the kink, riddle of the road, 89 miles an hour.
I'm going to stick with HT Pennington because it sounds a bit more Brooklands old boy. Very nice and tidy. Ooh, big slide on his way out of top S, having said that. He was heading for the gate at one point, but he managed to get it gathered. He's over the line.
Good run, though. 31.52. Ray Law. This is a quick car. Over 2 litres.
Yes, Ray had his adventures yesterday in practice as well. Neatly into bottom S, though. Very tidy, carrying his momentum well. Nicely through both S's, in fact. Very little steering going on. Nice and swift, and he's over the line.
31.15, exactly 100 miles an hour. Now, what can Steve Garner do? He's got a bigger engine.
And he's got it wound up as he comes through Kennel. Brushes the bank in crossing into bottom S. Again, he brushed against the bank on the approach at 91 miles an hour, Ali.
Nice. He runs a little bit wide. He gets a tail out again through top S as well. Manages to get the power down. Could have been a shade closer to the apex, but over the line.
30.37, 108. Simon Jenks has painted some really good black lines on the way up to the start line in his 1600 Caterham. So nice hot rear tires. Yeah, good start, 2.21. Whoa,
Yes.
Almost lost it on the way into Kennel.
Simon, yes, he's using all the road that he's paid the entrance fee. Thoroughly enjoying himself here, obviously, into bottom S now. Quick, 101 miles an hour.
Very swift for a little 1600. Nice, runs wide a bit. Will have to get slightly out of the power as he was running right through top S, but he's back onto it now, absolutely skimming along.
Good run, 29.6. Now, what can Ash Mason do? He's developed this car to produce masses of power.
Yes, Ash into and through Kennel, through crossing. Just misses the concrete to the kink. Now I think
flying into bottom S a pace now. Ash, little bit of a slide on his way out. Oh, nearly makes his way over to the right-hand side of the track. He's gathered it all up though, and he's over the line. Class record.
Yeah, 28.19, class record. Well done to Ash. Brilliant.
Well done to Ash. Give him a wave on the way down.
Here's David Strange. You might be asking, why isn't this crosser in the classic class? Well, the answer is that it's a continuation of the 9S built only a few years ago.
Yes, here it is. Pretty looking motor car. Looks very nice indeed. Into bottom S now, turns in 80.
Yeah, nicely on the way in and smoothly on the way out as well. Good classic lines from David. Nice and tidy, and he'll be over the line any moment.
He is indeed with 34.66. Martin Watts in the little silver Riot with its 1 litre bike engine behind the driver. Article in Autocar this week about Britain's shed constructors. Silver, typical example.
Yes, very nicely. One presumes you mean shed as in based in sheds rather than the derogatory term for cheap cars.
Exactly.
Over the line.
32.32. Here's Ian Rowlands, who was National Rallycross Supercharger champion in this ex-European Rallycross 6R4.
It's a nice motor car. Amazing. I do like this. It's super. 95, bottom S.
Oh, running very, very deep into bottom S, keeping it only has cost him a little bit of pace on the apex of top S, but all that power will dig him out of a hole. Over the line.
29.414. Here's Mike Manning in this mad Ford Fiesta. Doesn't look like Granny's Ford Fiesta to me.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Just not the thing you probably take down to Tesco's to do your shopping.
Yeah, it's a refugee from the slightly unhinged world of World Rallycross. Oh, nice kicking out of the rear on bottom S. Anyone would think he was playing to the gallery a little bit. He's over the line now.
31.5 for Mike. Graham Lokes in the Porsche-powered Lola Ford T492.
Yep, sounds wonderful. Flat 6 engine burbling away in the back. He's got it absolutely running beautifully over the last couple of 3 years.
Sounds a bit like he's popping his... Oh, has to get out the power on his way around top S. Sounds like he's running it right the way to the limiter before he shifts up, and he's over the line.
31.9. Allan McDonald in the Mini that he hasn't prepared for the Concours.
Yes, workmanlike motor car, this one has to say. But it's crude, but isn't it effective? Into bottom S, 91.
There you go, nice and tidy. I've been described as having halfway to crude and effective. It's neatly round the S's and over the line already.
29.31, good run, 117 over the line. Here's Christian Mineeff driving Ray Rowan's Pilbeam MP43, onto which Ray has attached quite a bold front wing. I'm not sure what it does for the handling, but it's immaculately prepared as always in Christian's favourite sort of martini colours. 2.8, sounds like a Hart engine in the back.
Yes, here's Christian. Comes through Kennel, turns it into crossing now. Just brush it against the bank using all the road. Nice in the middle of the road, avoids the concrete at the kink. Into bottom S, no time.
Nice and tidy round, uses all the track on the exit of top S, and the car leaping away now and over the line.
Good run in the 20s, 28.75 for Christian. Now Richard Walker, Class H, the little 600cc racing cars. Nice to have 3 of them. We usually only get 1.
Yes, it's nice to see them coming back and starting to make a bit of a mark. So Richard Walker tidily through Kennel, crossing bottom S now, 77.
Yeah, nice and tidy, preserving. Momentum's very important in these little 600s. He's preserved that one very nicely indeed. Accelerating away and over the line.
Time for Richard Walker of 34.02. Gavin McLaren with you.
Yeah, the Nuts and Muffin screaming away. Bottom S now, 85 miles an hour.
Yeah, as a Phil Nuttall product, obviously you can be described as a single-seater built for the more robust gentleman, and very neatly put through the S's by Gavin actually, and he's over the line.
And his time is a 32.83. Here's Les Buck, OMS Hornet. The bar to the bottom S has had to close for various reasons. So if you need a drink, if you're up there, you're very welcome to go to the members' tent.
Yeah, and Les Buck breaking down, running very wide indeed. On his way, and he's struggling to find a gear. It'll be a bit of a run to forget, I think, for Les, but he's cleaned his act up and he's accelerating towards the line.
Yeah, it's cost him a bit. 33.51 for Les. Sam Wilson double driving in the OMS 3000M.
Yep, Sam, bottom S, 93.
Yeah, changes down, rumbles his way over the sawtooth curbs. Has to catch a little bit of a slide on his way back out. Accelerating away, changing up through the gears and over the line.
30.52. Adam Greenen is on the line in the Empire Evo 2. He's registered for the championship. Can he get into the runoff? Let's see. 2.24 off the line.
Yes, the Greeners are a spectacular pair of drivers. He's hustling his way up through crossing. 108 into bottom S, carrying really good pace from 1100. Neatly round bottom S. Neatly round top as well, catching a little bit of a slide. Accelerating away now. Bike engine singing away and over the line.
27.32 might qualify. Lynn Owen, Mrs. OMS.
Yeah, Mrs. OMS into bottom, into crossing here. Past me, tidy. Bottom S now, 98.
All runs very, very deep round bottom S. Compromises and top S. This hasn't been a clever run, I'm afraid, for Lynn. Little bit of a scruffy S and over the line.
Nevertheless, it's in the 20s, 29.19. Liam Cooper sharing with... No, this is Liam, yeah, sharing with Olivia.
Yes, really getting it wound up. Popping and banging, hitting the rev limiter into bottom S now. No speed recorded.
No, Liam missing a gear there.
109 into bottom S.
There we go, yes, he's struggling a bit with the gears, but he's now got it going again. He's over the line.
Well, that's pretty good. 27.67 for Liam. Toby Moody sharing with Zach Zammit, the Empire Wraith.
Yeah, here's Toby, actually quite wide as he came into Kennel, but sparks flying everywhere. Bottom S.
Quick from Toby through bottom S. Catches a slide on his way out. Really purposeful stuff between the S's. 7.5 seconds, that's pretty good.
25.97, good run by Toby. He's not registered for the championship.
No, he isn't.
But nor is Allan Warburton, but David is.
And here's Allan now. Again, a little bit of a wriggle as he came through crossing. No problems into bottom S.
Yeah, nice and tidy from Allan. Wise old head. Neat and tidy around the S's, accelerating away and a bit of a weave over the line.
27.21. Now, going for the van record is this little Fiesta with the EcoBoost engine.
I'm just seeing if we've got a commercial vehicle record. We've got one for pretty much everything else. Yeah. I don't think we do.
Yeah, the little, as you say, the EcoBoost.
We've got the
3-cylinder, 160 odd brake horsepower. With you, Ali?
Yeah, Dave's a very experienced driver, knows what he's up to. Really working the van hard. He dropped off boost slightly. You can see when it hit boost, actually. It's a little lurches on again. And he's over the line.
It's a 42.94, so it doesn't qualify for the sports utility vehicle record. And it's not a dragster. It's a kind of, oh no, autonomous car. We can't call it that.
No.
It's got a driver, hasn't it? Good fun, though.
Yes.
Those cars will be coming down the hill, and we get towards our big class attempting to qualify for the runoff.
But as it stands, we currently have 7 drivers who are qualified. They're led by Adam Greenen, and they're Peter Herbert valiantly leading a rearguard action in the only road-going car there. Or the only car with more than 1 seat, in fact.
Yes, it is. That's right.
I suppose Christian Mineeff's Pilbeam technically should have 2, as should Allan McDonald's, but they don't.
The sun has gone in for the moment, but keep your fingers crossed. It's dry down here. And I guess that few drops of rain haven't really wetted the track up the top.
No, not really. But yes, as you say that, we have a lovely burst of sunshine coming into the top of the hill. So, one of those days.
Send it down this way.
It'll be with you soon. Anyway, I'm going to do a little update. Robert Wilson's run in that little 205 was good to pop him into 3rd in Class in A1. And so we've gone straight into the modified cars up to 2 litres. No, we've already done that one. And so, yes, here we go, over 2 litres. 3rd place, Paul Howells, 31.02, Porsche 911. 2nd place, Mike Turpin, Vauxhall VX220, 30.73. Leading the way, Stephen Moore, Evo 5, or 6. Mitsubishi, 29.91. Modified Specialist Production Cars. Steve Garner is currently 3rd, 30.37. Simon Jenks, 2nd, 29.6, and Ash Mason is the proud owner of a new class record, at 28.19. Sports Libras up to 2 litres. David Strange is in 2nd, 34.66. Martin Watts, 32.32, leads the way in that little silver. And then the big Sports Libras, Allan McDonald in the Evo Mini is 3rd, 29.31. Ian Rowlance in the 6R4 is 2nd, 29.24. And then Christian Mineeff leading the way in the Pilbeam, 28.75. So a half second covering the top 3 there. Racing cars up to 600cc, these are the little Jedis. Richard Walker in 3rd, 34.02. Les Buck in 2nd, 33.51. Gavin McLaren leading the way in a 32.83. However, there is more to come from Les Buck at the very least. And there are so many runners still to come in 1100s, we'll leave that one till next.
I don't know if Ash Mason has come down yet. I was just looking at my papers. If he hasn't, everyone give him a wave. Car number 70, Ash Mason in the Westfield, new class record.
No, I don't think he has. The Westfield contingent are coming down now. The 6R4 is coming down, flashing its lights enthusiastically. Ash Mason is the car in between the blue Caterham and the light flashing 6R4. So yes, if you wish to give him a round of applause, that's your man.
A little bit more about the 6R4. It was the ex-European rallycross car driven by Arne Rasmussen and Bengt Wiklund, presumably in Scandinavia. Twin turbochargers, 600 to 800 bhp on the turn of a dial. And I believe this is Ian Rowlance's first year competing at Shelsley.
Well, he's doing all right for it.
He certainly is.
And I presume this 6R4 flashes its headlights on the overrun or something, because it's very regular. He's not waving to anyone.
I suspect it's probably like on the same circuits you'd have the hazards on.
Yes, probably,
yeah,
yes.
It's the hazards.
Yeah.
Looks rather good.
Yes, we're all starting to filter down. I think the West van will be the last one down. After the Crossley and Graham Lokes' Lola.
Do you know what the van is advertising and what that company does?
I'm not sure. Is the short answer to that? It seems to be, because I know that the Wests do have a sideline, and also, I mean, they do pumps and things, which is their principal business, which is all's wage, but they also fit out vans and do something called race van conversion. So I don't know if they're diversifying into fitting out other vans as workshops, because they've been doing something about that on their Facebook page recently. So I don't know. Is a very long way to say. I don't really know, but I'm guessing.
I don't think it's the Wests. I think it's this Edstrom Systems. But exactly what Edstrom Systems do, I'm not sure.
I shall make it my business to go and talk to them. We will start again with number 90 on page 29 of the programme, with Keith Weeks in this very neat little image, 1 litre, leading the way in Class I, and in that class, of course, is Robert Kenrick in the incredible Raptor 2 with its 1 litre BMW bike engine, producing masses of power, incredibly light. Power to weight ratio well over 1,000 horsepower per tonne, because it only weighs, I think, 250 kilos. And that engine produces more than 300 horsepower. And of course, Robert is registered for the championship. Does he feature in the top 10? Yes, he does. He's 9th currently at the moment with 39 points.
Which isn't a bad result, really, when you think about it.
With
giving away several litres to pretty much everybody.
Yeah, with 1 litre. And then in the 1600 class, we've got the Warburtons. We've seen Allan going up. Son David registered for the championship, and he's currently 10th equal in the championship with Jason Morant.
He's quietly putting together a very strong season, Dave Warburton. He's coming on very, very strong at the moment.
And Zach Zammit is also registered for the championship. Zach, based in Malta, flies over, tells me that there's going to be a race meeting round the streets, I think, of Valletta next year for classic cars. He's hoping to race a Mini. That would be quite spectacular.
Yeah, there's quite a few Zammits around down there, because Ali and I, we met someone at Gubbay, and I've forgotten what...
Matthew Zammit.
Matthew Zammit, thank you.
My uncle was a knight of Malta. He was knighted because he was a civil engineer and sorted out the drains in Valletta.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? That's on a day-to-day basis, that's something to be very grateful for, in fairness. So
exactly.
You would have a more direct impact on my life than Sir Jackie Stewart's World Championships, for example.
But it's great to see what Jackie is doing for dementia into research.
Absolutely, yes.
Quite right. Yes, quite right.
He's a real champion of the field, isn't he? Because Helen suffers, doesn't she?
And she's going downhill very quickly. It's very sad to see. But it was a lovely gesture at the Festival of Speed to stop on his parade up the hill and hand her with a lovely pink rose.
It was awfully sweet.
It was nice, and not a dry eye in the house. The Image 1 litre engine is fired up in the hands of Keith Weeks. He brings it to the line. Neat little car. Off the line with lots of wheel spin, 2.5 seconds.
Yes, Keith Weeks through Kennel, turns it into crossing now. Nicely in the middle of the road. Up through the kink, no dramas at all, 89 miles an hour.
Yeah, Keith from very much the north of Scotland, one of our most far-flung competitors, jabbing away at the throttle as he makes his way round Top S, scooting away up the straight and over the line.
30.61, followed by Greg Barton on another Empire.
Yeah, Greg used an awful lot of the road at Kennel, but he got away with it. Into bottom S now.
Yeah, Greg with me, neatly round bottom S. Ooh, takes probably a bit too far over to the right into top S. We had to kill his speed quite significantly, but he's up and over the line now.
Good run, 28.95 for Greg. Harry Pick in this OMS 3000 we saw just now in the hands of Sam Wilson.
Yeah, Harry going nicely, getting it really cranked up into bottom S now at 105.
Oh yeah, really taking a bite out of the curbs, catching a couple of slides as he does. Very neat driving from Harry, accelerating away and over the line.
27.33 for Harry. Now Jim Spencer in the ex-Formula 3 Reynard, much modified to hold a 1 litre bike engine.
Yes, here it is. Turns it into crossing. Either hitting the rev limiter or it's off song, one or t'other. And I think it's probably off song because he's slowed down fairly significantly there, Ali.
Yeah, he's taking a fairly circumspect line through the S's, and I think he's just driving to the top now. He's easing it up in short shifting, yes, or a bit of fluffing there. Yeah, so there's something up with the car, unfortunately. Incidentally, Harry Pick goes second so far with a 27.33, only 100th behind Adam Greenen.
So Jim won't want to know the time, but between you and me it was 34.52. And on the line, Darren Gumbley.
But I've got Allan Warburton at 27.21, another tenth quicker.
He's not registered.
Ah, sorry. It's just coming up on the listing here.
So here's Darren. Good start, 2.12.
Yes, got it really cranked up now. Again, hitting the rev limiter, pop, into bottom S now, 107.
Oh, lovely power slide from Darren Gumbley as he goes on his way in. Slightly more circumspect round top S. I think he's probably really busy thinking, oh, I can't believe I did that. He's over the line.
With a good time of 27.33.
That's joint with Harry Pick.
Yeah, same time. David Tatham in the OMS. Dad George used to be here in the great big McLaren.
Yeah, David into now bottom S at 104.
Nice and tidy from David Tatham round there. Lovely and tidy through both of the S's, in fact. Lovely smooth run, picking up lots and lots of momentum over the line. Good time.
Good time, 27.07, 106 mph over the line. On the line, the orange car. This time in the hands of Jack Cottrell. And stalls it, but luckily the rear wheels don't cross the line, so... He didn't stall it, but he started it again anyway.
So that puts David Tatham into first place qualifier so far.
That was a brilliant run, 27.07. Now what can Jack do? Very narrow tub on this force. Excellent start, 2.09 this time.
Yeah, here's Jack. Wide onto Kennel, wide, a little bit wide into crossing. Breaks into bottom S, 105.
Nibbles at the end of the curb, nice line, nice late apex. Steering away quite enthusiastically, but over the left-hand side of the track, accelerating away over the line.
27.03, slightly quicker than David Tatham. Leads the class so far. Martin Jones in a similar car.
Yes, here's Martin through crossing, breaks into bottom S at 105.
Nice and tidy from Martin, actually, as he goes round. Oh, he's doing a lot of work on the steering wheel round top S. Lots of little inputs, but he's over the line now.
27.30, it's very close. Chris Aspinall in the Empire Wraith, incredible.
Oh, incredibly wide. Sorry to cut across you there, Chris, but he using all the track by the old gate there into bottom S now at 108.
Brakes a little bit more circumspectly on his way in. The front being very, very pointy. The back end was a little loose as well. Not the tidiest run we've seen, but still quite swift.
26.41, pops into the lead of the class. What can Andy Greenen do in Empire Evo 2?
Yes, he is Empire Evo 2 with Andy. Nicely done. A little bit of a slide through Kennel, but got hold of it. Bottom S, 107.
Nice smooth line. Ooh, bit scruffy. He has to take a really big bite at top S to get the car round, but he's going very swiftly indeed.
He's in the 26s. It's the 26.71, 100 miles an hour over the line. To the line comes Mr. OMS, Steve Owen, in the OMS 28.
That puts Andy Greenen qualifying first for the run-off so far, and Peter Herbert finally drops off the bottom of the list with his Porsche.
26.71 for Andy. What can Steve do about that? Rear wing rocking under the acceleration.
Yes, into crossing now. Just letting it drift slightly towards them under the box here. Breaks into bottom S, 109.
Yeah, neat from all. Steve running very, very wide on his way around bottom S. Huge amount of enthusiasm being put into the car. Still at 7.6 seconds, he carried a lot of pace through the S's.
26.24 now, Robert Kenrick, record holder with a 24.79.
Oh, a little bit of a wiggle as he came through crossing there. Held onto it nicely. Into bottom S, 119.
Smooth on his way round bottom S, smooth on his way round top. The only man to have done 25 seconds in this car, let alone a 24, over the line.
It's a 24.64.
Class
it's
record.
A record. Wow, fantastic. Class record for Robert, 24.64, 119 into bottom S, 116 over the line. Brilliant run. We catch our breath a little bit with the Formula Fords, started by Tim Cross in this very rare Chevron B68 that he is borrowing this weekend.
Well, he's only borrowing it for a very short time because unfortunately it stopped at Kevill, which is a shame. Yes, I was having a chat to Tim yesterday with the car. Pretty little motor car. It's terribly low to the ground. It really is.
It's very narrow. Has it stopped mechanically?
I presume so. Yes. Yes. It's
all in one piece.
Oh yes. Oh yes. He just quietly pulled in. So it has failed to proceed.
So the car's owner, Charles Williams, waiting with bated breath to see what's gone wrong.
Okay, he's been turned round. He'll be rolling back down the hill.
Yeah, shame. Failed run for Tim. Ed is online. Great journalist, commentator, co-commentator with me at Goodwood. But I have a feeling he inched over the line and set the clock running, so 4.15, that cost him a good 2 seconds.
Here's Ed. Again, having a chat to him in the paddock yesterday morning. He's been a long-term supporter of round here and of the MAC generally into bottom S now.
Yeah, nice and tidy. A little bit of a change of pace, gets your one's breath back. Rattles his way over the drain cover, gently squeezing the power on now and accelerating away and over the line.
With a 39.76, he won't want to remember that. Carole Nicholls in the Nike. Nike's built down in the West Country by her dad, Ken Nicholls.
Yes, there he is, and she's into bottom S, 71 miles an hour.
Yep, nice and tidy. Very old school appearance with the open face helmet and the goggles. Squeezing the power open, changing up through the gears. Nice tidy run from Carole. She's over the line.
Her time, 38.25. Chris Warden in the Swift. Very wide track, very narrow chassis.
Yes, into bottom S now at 75. Nice tidy run.
Yeah, nice and tidy, middle of the road. They always look incredibly wide, Formula Ford cars. I expect that's probably a result of having an incredibly narrow tub. But accelerating away now and over the line.
35.98. Charlie Reilly in the Van Diemen. Ron Tornak built Australian, and Australia used to be called Van Diemen's Land.
Yeah, Charlie turns in 81 into bottom S.
Oh, is that why they're called Van Diemen?
Yeah.
I'd always wondered. There you go. Every day a school day, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie has a bit of a scruffy time round the S's. Still the quickest guy we've seen through there, though. So going well.
35.53 makes him the quickest of the Formula Fords, unless Steve Day can do something about that.
Yeah, I think Steve Day's a little bit quicker as he came through crossing anyway, into bottom S now.
Yeah, he's about a half a second up as he goes into the S's. Neatly round, and his S sector is under 10 seconds, 9.75, not bad at all. And he crosses the line now.
34.39, yeah, he's quickest of the Formula Fords. Rob Anscombe had a hesitant start, cost him
Well, he
half a
used,
second or so.
He used an awful lot of track at Kendall as well, so but he's got away with it.
Yeah, Rob bouncing his way a little bit between the S's. Doesn't like to put too much input in, lets it run right out to the bank. Accelerating away, and he is over the line.
It's a 30.88. John MacKenzie down from Lawrence Kirk.
Ooh, yep, taking a big old bite of curb on his way, and neatly around top S, washing out right to the edge of the track, staying on the left and over the line.
It's a good run, 27.97 for John. On the line, Nicholls, who is registered for the British Hillclimb Championship in his 1600 OMS 28. Storms off the line with traction control helping for a 2.04.
Yes, going it nicely through Kendall and crossing, just brushes the bank at crossing. Sparks flying up from the under tray into bottom S now.
I think Neil has qualified for a runoff before, I might be mistaken, I'm sure Eddie would know. Nicely round the S's, catches a couple of little slides as he accelerates towards the line.
27.25, good run. Olivia Cooper in the Force TA.
Right, she's got this wound up extremely quickly into bottom S now. 1-1-1, wow.
Husband Liam did a 27.67, currently sitting 10th in qualification. Olivia could nudge him further towards the trapdoor, over the line.
26.85, great run by Olivia. Now, Einon Price doesn't seem to be registered for any championship, but no doubt going for the class win.
He has scored points in the British this year, so I suspect he is registered.
He must be, mustn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes, I've just been confirmed in my other ear from Eddie. Not the Midland, though, that's why.
Oh, Einon Price catches the car in the little force as he comes round the S. It's nice and tidy. This will be a good run. 7 and a bit seconds through there.
It's in the 25s, 25.77. Great run by Einon. Brings to the line Zach Zammit, sharing with Toby Moody. Toby did a run in the, was it in the 25s?
It was a very good run from Toby, actually, very good run.
Zach, brilliant start, 1.89, quickest we've seen today.
Yeah, Zach getting it really wound up. Oh, beautifully through crossing here. Sparks flying like mad from the skid plates into bottom S now.
Yeah, Zach scored points here this year in this car. Nicely round the S, 7.45, quickest we've seen yet. 24.79 will make him go quickest.
24.95, brilliant run by Zach. Just outside Josh Goodyear's record, 113 over the line, 116 into bottom S.
That will surely be enough.
Yeah, brings David Warburton to the line. He's registered for the championship. Dad, Allan, was in the 26s, I think.
27.21.
David, not quite such a good start, 2.08.
Screaming it through. Crossing now, avoids the concrete, breaks into bottom S, 120.
Neat line through bottom S from Dave. Oh, he's fighting it through top S, but he's kept it honest. He's accelerating towards the finish. Darren Gumbley on the trapdoor in the 27.33.
24.93 for David. That should qualify.
That pops him second.
Yeah, Trisha Davis, double driving with husband Terry, class K1.
Trisha passed me, 94 into bottom S.
Yeah, nicely done from Trisha. Nice and gently squeezing the power out. They do sound lovely and smooth, these engines, over the line.
29.53. Bill Morris, just the same trouble as Tim Davis had getting the pill beam off the line.
Yes, Bill. Sounding really crisp now he's got it going. Turns it into bottom S now, 79.
Yeah, Bill being a bit more circumspect, bobbling his way over the curbs, tagging the drain cover, squeezing the power on, Millington engine. Lovely engine over the line.
Yeah, the start cost him nearly a second, 32.43 for Bill. On the line is Nicola Dearden, sharing the little Guldalara with Andrew Henson. She stalled the engine, but no harm done. She didn't get far enough to for it to be a run. And second time up, great start, 2.41.
Yes, here's Nicola. In past Kevill, into crossing now. And smack in the middle of the road, keeps the power in. Doesn't lift at all for the kink into bottom S, 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, Nicola with us now, nicely round bottom and top S. Her confidence is growing with the car. Accelerating away now, staying plumb in the middle of the track over the line.
31.97 for Nicola. Are we going to get our double-driven cars in the big class? If we are, it's Bernard Kevill, Andrew Coley, Lindsay Summers and Nicola Meddings.
I will be expecting them at the back end of the next batch.
They are, yes.
Yeah, red flags are out, so...
So that is the... Chris, can I just do a public service announcement, please? That is about the top bar, that's the alcoholic bar in bottom S. Due to safety reasons, the top bar is closed. So any non-member are very welcome to come to the members' tent to buy drinks. Today only, obviously, because it is exclusively normally for members only. So top bar is closed for safety reasons. Non-members may buy drinks in the members' bar.
Is that because the beer's been found to be too strong?
I am not going to comment. I am actually going to retire at this point and hand back to my colleague Eddie Walder, who will talk us through all the rest of the really big bangers. That is, even if this were not fast enough anyway.
Righto, we'll speak to you in a bit.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Oh, and just don't forget to give Robert Kenrick a ring number 8, a wave number 8, for his new class record.
Okay, we'll quickly go through the classes as the cars have already started pouring down. In the 1100 class, in third, Chris Aspinall, 26.41. In second, it's Steve Owen, 26.24. In first by a country mile and with a class record, 24.64. That's Robert Kenrick. Formula Fords. In third, we've got Chris Warden, 35.98. Second, we've got Charlie Reilly, 35.53. And leading the class, we've got Steve Day, 34.39. The 1600 class, we've got Einon Price in third, 25.77. Zach Zammit in second, 24.95. Dave Warburton leading the way on a 24.93. And that brings us up to date with the classes. And I will just give you a quick rundown of unofficial qualifiers so far. As a summary, Harry Pick and Adam Greenen are now on the bubble, so to speak, 27.3. Robert Kenrick is leading the way on a 24.79. That will almost certainly see him in, as will David Warburton's 24.93 and Zach Zammett's 24.95, but you never know. Einon Price is qualified fourth on a 25.77. I expect he will find himself watching very carefully to see whether he's in or not. So a high 25 may turn out to be our cut-off, just as a reference.
Ali, can you just check Robert Kenrick's time? Because 24.79 was his record.
There you go. That shows me for noting stuff down as I'm talking. Yes, it was quicker. 24.64.
Brilliant.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I was reading off my own notes rather than the timing screen for that one.
Getting a bit cooler?
It seems to be. Here is Mr. Kenrick coming down the hill if everyone wants to...
Give him a wave.
Yeah, superb run from him. He's just getting quicker and quicker in this little car. But we will almost certainly be seeing him again before lunch. We have got, incidentally, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've still got the thick end of 20 runners who are qualified for points to go, who are Registered, that's the word. Registered for points to go. So, yes, there's still stuff to do.
It's really interesting how hill climbing develops. Last 2 years or so, a battle between the big Goulds with big V8s and the little tiddlers with bike engines like Roberts. And that's developing now, little tiddlers with big engines, the 4-litre Judd engine in the back of the GR59.
Which is, as I say, it's one of the more versatile chassis out there, because you see the Warburtons who've got their 1600cc car, which is the 59, but you've got Sean Gould's car, which is the 4-litre Judd, and an awful lot more aero appendages.
Right, I'm in place, chaps.
Did you get your ice cream? Did you?
No.
Oh, right.
No, don't worry about that. The ice creams are available elsewhere, you know. We do have them in Coventry, surprising. Although we no longer have Di Maschio, the Italian one, known as D-Dye locally. You don't have an ice cream in Coventry, you go for a D-Dye. There you are.
A D-Dye?
No, we don't talk like that.
That's what we're celebrating 75 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. It's terrible. So Robert Kenrick, because I've been sitting on my
backside.
On the veranda here, on my old kitchen stool. It's a really good view. You can see the timing display and well up the hill. So
I have never heard a grander word used for a step.
Yeah, it's all right. It's perfect. Your dad's sitting on it now. It's quite, apart from having no cushion, it's quite comfortable because you can move around a bit.
Veranda.
Yeah. So Robert Kenrick. So quickest qualifier. Well, we were expecting that, but it does look as if you've got to be in the high 26s to be in, doesn't it?
I'd say we could even be at 25.77
Yeah.
design and price.
Yeah, because I've not bothered with the old-fashioned blocks, it means I can't instantly look at how many are yet to run, because you can with the blocks. You just go, oh, there's still 12, you know. I could work it out, I'm sure.
There's about 22 to come.
Oh, yeah.
Still quite a few.
Yeah.
So we are coming
Happy
towards
days.
Class K1, normally aspirated up to 2 litres, which will be kicked off by Charles Williams in the Pilbeam MP 87. If you weren't here earlier in practice, just to repeat, this car is for sale. Charles would be delighted to speak to you if you're interested in it. And James Williams, Charles's son, who used to hill climb quite a lot, is busy with Mercedes F1 in charge of gearbox development.
He's too busy to come to the hills these days, I know. I wish I'd brought my list of registered championship people with me, because I'm not convinced that what it says about Terry and Trish Davis is correct. Earlier this season I had them down as only Midland registered.
So Charles brings the MP87 Pilbeam up to the line. It's the development of the MP82 with a carbon fibre tub, Vauxhall power, which is a nice engine, producing, 280 or so horsepower.
The sort of car in which you would have won the leaders 20 years ago.
Yeah. Nice start by Charles into Kennel with a bit of a lift.
Charles brings the car up to crossing. Just keeps a little distance away from the bank in a safe position. Misses the rumble strip on the left at the kink, and he's into the S's now.
Yep, sticking it down through the gears very nice and smoothly. Bumping its way over the drain cover, squeezing the throttle on. Engine screaming away now and over the line.
Records a 31.39. Here's John Cottrell, similar car, aluminium tub. Was on practice a little bit quicker than Charles.
It's the livery tells you it is the ex-works car, of course, with the old paintball splashes on it.
Yes, this car's been a feature of hill climbing for as long as I can remember.
Andy Macbeth used to drive it at one point.
Very neatly round the S's and over the line.
John records a 31 seconds exactly, speed 103, not quite as quick as he was in practice. Ian Tucker in the OMS 28, all the way up from Newquay, which was battered by wind yesterday over the weekend, wasn't it?
Yes, they've had to cancel their Boardmaster Festival because of the weather, which is a bit of a pity. But neatly, Ian into the S's, very tidy lines on his way through there, bumping his way over the drain cover, applying the throttle nice and smoothly and over the line.
30.29 for Ian. Josh Moss in the Delara Vauxhall.
So here comes Josh Moss, straight up the middle of the track, avoids the rumble strip on his left. S approach 107.
Joshua Moss smooth, little bit of a wiggle actually round bottom S as I say that. Wrestling slightly against the wheel, but he's got it straightened up now. He's accelerating and he is across the line.
Good run, 27.69 for Josh, speed 109. To the line comes Terry Davis in this ex-Formula 3 Reynard, but very much developed with his own 2-litre engine.
Yeah, very heavily developed chassis. Used to run the larger Yamaha Suzuki V8 and had to turn away from the bank, so he was pointing right into it at the crossing.
Yeah, Terry up with us now. Oh yes, and he had to get out of the power again. Oh, he's probably understeering a bit more than he'd like it to. He's accelerating away and over the line.
Terry does a 28.79. Tim Davis has sorted out the traction control problems, gets it off the line nicely.
Yeah, Tim into the S's at 112, going as quick as he ever does.
Yeah, nicely done from Tim. Oh, has to get out of the power, running slightly right at top S, but he's got it sorted out nicely, and he is over the line.
Better time, 26.74 for Tim. That's a good time. Mike Tregonning, excellent start, 2.22. Tim did a 2 seconds exactly.
Yeah, here's Mike Tregonning. And like quite a number of competitors in this class, he's registered for the Midland only. Competes in the Midlands all season.
Mike Tregonning has to get out of the throttle again around top S. It's getting a bit gloomy up here, chaps. So visibility might be slightly affected. He's over the line.
Yeah, cost him a bit. 27.8 for Mike. Here's Andrew Henson in this radiator-less Delara, just relying on the water in the engine.
One of only 2 Gould GR49s, so it does have a Gould model number. Into the S's at 110, Andy Henson.
Yeah, nice and smart from Andy Henson. It tries to wiggle on him a little bit as he goes on. It doesn't have a floor, which also makes it look curious. Over the line.
27.11 for Andrew, which brings Tim Elmer to the line in the V8 Delara 399 with its 2-litre engine, similar to the one that Terry Davis has got at the back of his car.
Yeah, he's built about 4 of the engines. There's one that we don't see much these days, the Lola of Howard Savage Jones has got one of them in it. So Tim into the S's right now at a speed of 107.
Yes, nice car this. Quick car driver combination. Yeah, keeping it nice and tidy, lovely smooth sounding engine, and it's over the line.
27.3 for Tim. Last runner, Jonathan Varley in the Predator with a BDG in the back.
It says he's not registered for the championship, but on the basis he's got points, he must be.
I can assure you, yeah, there's something gone wrong here. We need to verify better in future, I think.
Incredible, the Predator round kennel.
Yeah, he's hanging on to a low gear, shifted up, going out of crossing. He's going back down the gate now, and it's 111.
Nice and quick, very tidily through bottom S. A bit conservative almost on his way round top. Squeezing the power on now, and that incredibly pretty little Predator over the line.
26.88. Does that take the class? It must do, mustn't it? For the moment, anyway. No, 26.74 by Tim Davis.
Tim's prone to doing that. He may be well into his senior years, but you can't hold a good former Jaguar apprentice down.
Pete Tatham, Class K2 in the Supercharged OMS 2.5.
These are all going to be going at it, hammer and tongs. Pete Tatham is. He's been close to it all season. Into the S's now, 119.
Yeah, here comes Pete Tatham, already neatly round the S's. Slightly wide entry to top S, but gets it going very nicely. Sun glinting off the bodywork over the line.
25.99. He'll be pleased with that. 118 over the line. Kelvin Broad on the line. Looks as if it's going to stay dry for these runs.
So Neil Cole's currently sitting on the bubble on a 27.25. That's what you need to get in.
Famous last words of the commentator.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
I'm touching all of the wood.
Good man. Same here.
Kelvin 2.1 off the line.
Yeah, rockets up through the kennel bend. He's up at crossing already. Skirts the bank. Avoids the rumble strip on his left, and he's into the S's now. But nothing coming up on my screen.
Steadily into bottom S. He did 109 on his way into the S's. Neatly round the corners, and he's over the line.
27.02 for Kelvin. Simon Moyes in this lovely GR59.
So Simon, a bit of an early upshift going out of the crossing bend, but this car will have bags of torque.
It will. He's had a couple of best times a day here in this car. Neatly round the S's, ever so slightly wide through bottom if I'm being really picky, but he's almost over the line.
25.75 for Simon.
Might see him qualify, might not.
Same time as Iron Price.
On the line, Richard Spedding.
Sorry, 2/100ths quicker than Iron Price. Get it right there.
Now Richard has switched the the engine has stopped, so summoning a battery. And Richard is lying third in the championship at the moment with 147 points.
Timing screens are frozen now.
As something of a, just as a bit of a top-up, currently the time you need to qualify is 27.03 to get into the top 12, but if you want to stay there, you're probably looking at a mid to high 25. Yeah. Current fastest is 24.64, which is Robert Genrick.
Richard's engine started with the help of one of those tiny lithium batteries. Doesn't need a trolley. Nicely controlled start, 2.19 off the line.
Yep, he's up with us already. Don't have any intermediate times or speeds. Still showing Simon Moyes. He's into the S's already, and I've still got the previous runner's time.
Paul Hames going in at 125 miles an hour, neatly into the S's as well. It's Paulie's doing very nicely indeed. 7.8 seconds through the S's, very quick. 24.81 should see him qualify.
I've got times here. 24.81, 132 over the line. That was a good run. That'll qualify for sure.
And Richard Spedding, very wide coming out of the camel bend, absolutely flat into the bottom S now.
Yeah, really quick. He had a best time of day from the June meeting. Won the runoff, second runoff, I think. Nice and tidy around top S as well. Quickest through there or of anyone else over the line.
23.57. 143 miles an hour over the line, 127 into bottom S. Mind-blowing speeds. Here's Bernard Kevill. These are the double drivers in Class L.
Yeah, Bernard's up with us now. It's a slightly more sedate run than the previous one, and he's into the S's.
Yeah, nice and smoothly into bottom S. Driving quite nicely round there. We've already lost Kelvin from the qualifiers. Jonathan Varley might be next up, but Bernard's over the line, 27.26.
On the line, Andy Coley, sharing, of course, with Mark the Gould GR55 with its 2.5 litre V6 engine out of the Deutsche Tourenwagen Meisterschaft, German Touring Car Championship.
That's easy for you to say.
It sounds better at a low shout, as most German sentences do. The Deutsche
when given as a command.
Tourenwagen Meisterschaft. Like that.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
My computer's finally caught up. It's taken about a minute. I don't know what's causing this.
Andy has switched the engine off. Maybe it was getting a bit hot, but Mark brings the battery up to the car.
So, do you have the trapdoor position at occupied by Jonathan Varley?
John Varley is still on there,
Yeah.
still stood on the trapdoor on a 26.88.
Yeah.
Distinctive sound from the V6 of Andy Coley. Nicely controlled start without the help of traction control, as far as I could hear.
Yeah, using all the track at the Kennel Bend. Just keeps away from the edge of the bank at crossing. And he's into the S's with an approach of 115.
Yeah, nice and tidy from Andy Coley. They've been keeping their nose clean all weekend, these boys. Nice and tidy, accelerating away and over the line.
26.28 for Andy, 126 over the line. Good time. Now, Lindsay Summers on the line in the amazing DJ Firestorm. Similar engine, 2.5 litre V6. Designed and built by Cosworth for various people. Beautifully controlled start by Lindsay, 2.02.
Yeah, it's the Cosworth KF engine car of the Summers family. Heads into the S's now. And I've got nothing on the screen.
Yeah, Lindsay going into the S's at 104. Neat and tidy on her way through the S's, no fuss or drama. Accelerating away and over the line.
And her time is a 27.35 for Lindsay. Last double driven runner is Amanda George in the Cosworth FVC powered Chevron B19 ex-Eiger Racing in Switzerland.
Yeah, so Amanda George, very experienced driver on the continent as well as here in the UK, heads into the S's right now.
Yeah, nice and tidy from Amanda, middle of the road. Bumps away over the drain cover, accelerating away. Lovely crisp engine noise over the line.
32.53, 100 miles an hour exactly, end of the batch.
Notable absentee is Nicola Menges. Is the car okay?
I was wondering about that. Or is she leaving it to Wallace?
No, it'll be Dave. She's Dave Uren.
Beg her pardon, yes.
Yes, Nicola sitting something in the order of 13th in the championship at the moment. She's garnered 15 points over the course of the year.
Did David have a successful practice run this morning?
There's a good question. Let's have a check.
Yeah, he went well.
So there we go. Bit of a mystery. Either way, let's do a top up of our results.
Yeah, good
anyway.
idea.
So, racing cars 1100 to 1600 cc. Third place, Einon Price. Oh no, I'm on practice, do apologise. Still Einon Price in third, 25.77. May get him in the runoff, may not. In second is Zach Zammit on a 24.95. David Warburton just ahead of him, 24.93. To lead the class currently. Racing cars, 1600 to 2 litres, normally aspirated. Andrew Henson third, 27.11. Jonathan Varley second, 26.88. Tim Davis coming up on the rails, 26.74. Racing cars, 1600 to 2 litres. We've got in third Simon Moyes, 25.75. He may well see him in the runoff. Paul Hames is second, 24.81. And Richard Spedding leading the way by some distance on a 23.57. And so an unofficial update on the qualifiers is we've got Olivia Cooper is now watching nervously over her shoulder on 26.85. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In theory, 12 runners still to come. But we don't know where the red GR55 is.
Yeah, sorry, Nicola should have gone, as you say, between Lindsay and Amanda George.
So all to play for. I'm still sticking with my prediction that the cut-off is going to be... let's have a quick look at who's left to go. Trevor, Will, Wallace, Alex and Scott could well get in, as could... Sean Gould.
Providing he can get the car going properly again.
Provided he can get the car going properly again. So I reckon it even could be Zach Zammit on a high 24 is our cut-off point now.
Wow.
It could be, and that would be quite something.
It really would.
Message coming in from the ether. Hoping it might be some news. Let's have a go. Nope. Thought it was a message. Never mind. Okay. Sometimes there are people who update me on stuff by messenger.
So all the cars are down the hill. Red flags will be in, and Sandra Tomlin should kick us off with Class L.
Nicholls nursing some cracked ribs. You're on the wrong side, sir.
Just a quick one, ladies and gentlemen, to let you know that the collection for the Church of St Andrew at Shelsley Walsh, the collection is taking place with lots of people going up the hill, walking down through the car parks, asking you to give them money, and to save them arguing with you, please give them money.
Yeah, give generously.
Yes, generously, thanks.
Well,
And you do it as well, Eddie.
Yeah, we'll set Mr. Lowe Senior on them.
Yes.
Update on Nicola Mingus. She's
Okay.
She's nursing some. Keith Weeks has just here told me Nicola's nursing some cracked ribs. Don't know the cause, but
So it's poor old Nicola.
yeah.
Oh well, we hope Nicola gets ribs feel better soon.
And I've got the funny feeling skiing or water skiing might have some connection to it because the boys do that, you know.
So off goes Sandra in the Judd-powered MP97.
Sandra, I thought she was going to go straight on at the Kennel bench. She just dragged the car around. Looking quite good other than that, and Sandra's into the S's at the ton.
Yeah, here comes Sandra now. Neatly round the S's, middle of the road. Yeah, neatly getting the power down. Puff of smoke on the upshift, really shooting off over the line.
126 over the line for a time of 27.61. Did I miss any news about Nicola Mingus?
Yeah, cracked ribs. Don't know the cause, but that Keith Weeks in the image just dropped by the commentary box and told me that.
That's unfortunate.
I'm going to speculate on a skiing or water skiing injury.
Right.
Yeah, she and the boys do that.
Now, Graham Wynne bogged down a bit at the start, but despite that, well, 2.66
Yes.
cost him half a second.
Travelling quickly enough now, I have to say. And heads into the S's and approach speed there of 107.
Yeah, quick. Ooh, yeah, the tail tries to bite him a bit round bottom S, but he gets it all under control, accelerating away, weaving a little over the line, fast.
26.44 for Graham. Won't get him into the runoff, I don't think.
Slots him in 11th position just for now, but
I was wondering where Simon Andrews was, and here he is in the OMS 28.
so there's probably going to be a few go quicker than Graham did in that run.
Simon is registered for the championship. Lovely sounding engine and a great start.
Yeah, Simon's up with us already at the crossing bend. It looks tidy. It always sounds like a Sunday drive, this car, because it's quite quiet and refined sounding.
Yeah, we've currently got Andy Greenen now staring nervously over his shoulder. Olivia Cooper has been overtaken. Can Simon Andrews go quicker than a 26.71?
No, he can't. 26.83. Here's Mark Coley. Andy did a 26.28 in this car just now.
Yeah, Andy's currently sitting 10th qualifier at the minute.
Holding it on the line, waiting for the green light, checking his hands device, which everyone has to wear in an open car nowadays.
You have to wear it in everything which isn't standard road going or classic.
Yeah. into gear. Down comes the visor for a 2.18 start.
Yeah, rockets into the kennel. Got to crossing already. Well away from the bank. Avoids the rumble strip on his left and into the S's now. 111.
Yeah, neatly. All takes a bit of the curb actually. Little had a slightly uncomfortable ride. Oh, kicks the tail out on his way round top S as well. Nicely caught though. He's over the line.
And his time is 25.55 for Mark. And on the line, Sean Gould. So they've sorted this car out. 1.89. Brilliant start by Sean.
Yeah, and brushed the edge of the barriers down at Kennel Bend. Oh, this is a really quick run. He's into the S's now.
Yeah.
128.
Sean into the middle of the road round the cars, functioning a lot better, smoothly out of top S as well, accelerating away very fast over the line. Wow.
23.32. Brilliant. 148 over the line. That will qualify.
Yeah, quickest qualifier.
Scott Moran on the line. Okay.
So,
and off the line, 1.99, under the 2 second mark.
yeah, he's done a lot less driving the last couple of seasons. Still managed to maintain a number 10 at the end of last season at the very end. And he's into the S's at 131.
Yeah, Scott smooth as ever through bottom S and through top S as well. 24.95 will see you certainly in now over the line.
Certainly in with a 23.83 for Scotty. 136 over the line, 131 into bottom S. If you're up at bottom S, you're getting a thrill.
By Scott's standards, that's what you call a banker.
Alex on his way, 2.07.
Yeah, flies up towards us. Beautifully driven, as smooth as you like. Straight up the middle of the track, avoids the rumble strip on his left, and he's with you now, 128.
Neatly into bottom S, very neat round bottom S. Neat round top S as well, kept the momentum really, really well, having a little fight with the steering wheel, but he's over the line now.
24.1, 130 miles an hour for Alex.
Third quickest.
Fourth. Fourth
Beg your pardon, yep.
Yep, so Steve Owen has finally left the top 12. He hung in there very gamely.
Here's Dave Uren in the GR55B.
So yes, Zach Zammit is definitely in with 24.95. He's currently the 8th fastest qualifier, so it might be that we don't, at 25 is not enough.
Dave Uren leads the start with a 2.15 and rushes into Kennel. Takes a fairly early turn into Kennel.
So we said before he was our fastest runner of the year last year. Can you repeat that now? 132 S approach.
Smoothly round bottom S. Smoothly round top as well. Oh, misfire on exit. That'll cost him maybe a 2 tenths over the line.
23.82, 138 miles an hour for David.
Pops him into third. Einan Price now looking nervously over his shoulder on a 25.77.
Well, with Wallace coming to the line, followed by Will and Trevor, I think he's going to be lucky to stay in.
Simon Moyes and Mark Coley and Einan Price, the three who are looking nervous now. Zach Zammit, Dave Warburton, Paul Haynes, Robert Kenrick, Alex Summers, Scott Moran, Dave Uren, Richard Spedding and Sean Gould all in.
Okay, Wallace brings the little GR59 up to the line. Lots of heat into the rear tyres, lots of smoke. Is he running on Pirellis or Avons? Can't tell from here. Interesting tyre battle for the first time ever, I think, in hill climbing.
He was running Pirellis the last time I looked.
Beautifully controlled start, 1.91.
Kennel, perfectly quickly. Good line at the crossing. It's fairly quiet into the S's. 128.
Neatly round bottom S. Neatly round top S as well. He's just a shade behind Sean Gould on the split so far, over the line.
23.56. That actually is... no, that isn't. I was looking at the...
Pops him into second so far.
Yeah, 138 over the line. 23.15 is the class record, as opposed to the hill record.
So just the two to run.
So Will Hall on the line in this force with this extraordinary 4-cylinder turbocharged 2-litre engine producing well 700 horsepower with a lot of explosions, as you will hear off the line. Well, only 3. 1.91, exactly the same as Wallace.
Yeah, Will opens it up out of the crossing bend. And he turns into the S's at 130.
And the splits are looking pretty special, chaps. Oh, big tail slide as he comes out of top S, but accelerating away now. How will he do?
He does well. 23.51, 146. 23.51.
Qualifies him second.
Last runner in this class, Trevor Willis. Last year's Hillclimb champion, not for the first time. Slight adjustment, pushing him slightly further forward on the line. Then he goes back. Get it right. It's important. Yep, perfect. Trevor in practice was he in the 23s?
Let me just find that for you. Trevor's best time from practice is a 24. But only Will has been in the 23s in practice today because it was quite cold.
Yeah, it was a 24.54, wasn't it?
Nice traction control start. Some fluid coming out of the car.
Yeah, car skipping about all over the place out of crossing. And some aero chatter from this car as well.
Yeah, slithering his way through the S's. Oh, very wide out of top S. Brushed the bank on his way. He's running very low ride height and he's over the line.
24.33, 133 over the line.
That qualifies him in 7th or 8th even. 8th. So there we go. That's the end of Class L and that'll be the end of the batch. Here comes the course car.
I will get official listing of our runners for the first runoff. In the meantime, there's a Land Rover Defender in the car park. It's RV09COA. It's got lights on. I don't know if those are headlights which might drain the battery or side lights which don't. But if that's your car, it's got some lights on. Also, do go and have a look at the nice display of MHD watches down in the courtyard. Matt, brilliant designer, designed the Aeromax Morgan and now is producing these beautiful watches.
Yes, he's now got an automatic, hasn't he? So a pure mechanical watch.
Yes, it's
with a glass back. It looks really impressive.
To see the mechanism in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, we've just got our classics to come.
We do. I'll just give a quick update on the classes.
Okay, thanks, Ali.
We've only got really one class to update, and that's racing cars over 2 litres, which we've just seen. Wallace Mengis in 3rd, 23.56. Will Hall in 2nd, 23.51. And Sean Gould, slightly mesmerising, 23.32. There we go, up to date. Here's a proper nerdy question for you, Eddie.
Oh yeah, go on.
What's the most number of a single type of car, not constructor, model of car that's ever been in a runoff? Because we have got 4 GR59s.
Well, we've had loads more of that in GR55 some years ago.
There's a good point.
When you had the likes of Mike Dean in his car, which has been missing for the best part of 10 years now. When you had I suppose the Fleetwoods last season was the peak of them, and then that car went off sprinting. So you'd have got that. Roy Lane's old car, which is not here. That's the one Jason Morant's got. You can just keep stacking them up, can't you? Really, it'd be the Pilbeam years, I would have said, back in the James Thompson time.
Because what we have got currently, we have got one Force, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 Goulds, 1 Empire, 1 OMS, 1 DJ, and 2 GWRs. So a good spread, actually.
Yeah. That'll keep Graham happy. Bear in mind he's only ever built about 6 chassis. That's not a bad
So that'll
return,
be.
is
So
it?
who were the Raptor chassis? You had Josh Goodyear's old one, Les Much's one.
No, the original one was the Lee Adams one
Okay.
that Josh then shared. Then I lose track a bit. I've got a list. It's not here though. It's in a book at home, in a notebook. Yeah, the Les Much one. Josh is one that got, no longer with us, as the saying goes. The Predator. Roberts, I think it's 5 in total, and the original Lee Adams one isn't. I believe it's at Afford at the Technical College there. Spelled Alford, but you pronounce it Afford. Which has got a sort of a sprint course in the grounds.
Oh, nice.
It's a bit like a test track. It's like the Hames test track. If you've ever seen pictures of that, it's similar to that, and they do a type of a figure of 8 sprint on it. Makes Kerber look enormous.
Oh, wow.
But it was there. The last I heard, it was there. And, of course, there's Leslie's car. I'm not sure of the provenance of that one. Sometime I'll contact Graham and get him to list them for me. But I think there's a maximum of 6 chassis in total. Possibly just 5. And we know Steve Owen's built in the region of 170.
Just for comparison.
Yeah. Well, if a new OMS turns up at Harewood, Steve Wilkinson will beat a pass to its door, and he's there with his folder, and he'll ask the driver the chassis number, and they'll immediately think he's a scrutineer and take all the panels off it. I've watched it happen a number of times.
He's just professionally nosy.
Yeah, but he just keeps records of everything. You know, he was the guy that provided a lot of the detail for the books that Jerry Sturman's collaborated with the Formula One Association on. The history mainly came from him.
Okay, thanks. So we're just waiting to get official confirmation of our runners in the first British Hillclimb Championship runoff. British Hillclimb Championship this year being sponsored by Avon Tires and Wind Developments Motorsport UK running it. And our red flags are coming in, so we've got a couple of classes of classic cars. Page 37 of the programme. Great to see Simon Taylor back at his favourite hill climb, Shelsley Walsh, in the HWM Stovebolt Special.
He has walked up the hill. He walked past us about an hour or so ago.
I invited him to my birthday party in March, but he was off to Amelia Island, which was probably more important.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you, really?
You would.
You'd have probably missed your own birthday party for that.
I would.
Or rescheduled
Definitely. We're kicking it off with Chris Bentley-Jones in the very pretty Brabham BT35. I'm pretty sure it's got a BDA engine in the back. He brings this BT35, I guess, was a Formula 2 car.
Believe so. They're hard to tell apart, aren't they? They've all got the similar look, the earlier cars. Did you ever own one?
I bought a BT38 for its engine.
I remember. Yes, now
swapped the engine over and sold it double quick.
Yeah. Sensible fellow.
I got myself a more powerful engine for no money whatsoever, which was quite a good move.
That's quite a good way of doing it, isn't it? Providing you don't lose it on this onward sale of the car.
So Chris is nicely off the line. 2.15, that's a really good start without the help of traction control.
Yeah, Chris Bentley Jones with us in this very pretty little machine. And he just brushed the edge of the bank at crossing and had to back off the throttle because of it. And he's into the S's already.
Yep, rumbling his way over the curbs into the dappled sunlight. Currently bathing the S's, runs out slightly wide on the edge, accelerating away cleanly, and he'll be over the line any moment.
He is, and his time is 32.01, which is a good time for a classic car. On the line, Simon Taylor in the famous Stoveboat Special that started life as a Grand Prix HWM, driven in period, that's 1948-9 by Sterling Moss.
So he must have transported himself back down to the paddock after walking up the hill earlier. The big V8 rumbling away, and he's into the S's at 71.
Yep, a little bit. Oh, nice four-wheel, a genuine four-wheel drift from Simon on his way round, and then lots of tail-out action on top S as well. Now rumbling his way over the line.
And it's a 37.53. Briony Serrell enjoying her new toy. It's a lovely Elva Mark 7. She first brought it out, I think, in the previous meeting.
Yeah, we saw her last weekend at Lowton Park as well, having a go out in the car. And she's with Ali right now.
Yeah, nice little piece of kit. Accelerating away, crisp engine note. He is flapping in the breeze and over the line.
Here's Brian Meddings. We thought he was suffering from clutch slip, but it seems to be okay. Brian is time 35.72.
Oh, he's having trouble now.
I think it's clutch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, yes, it's not right.
Sounds like clutch slip.
It does. Bad clutch slip, worse than before.
Yes, I've got my window open and it doesn't sound. Oh yes, he's.
If it was yours, you'd probably want to pull up as soon as you could, wouldn't you?
Driving the way to the top now. Let's have a little listen for a gear shift.
Phil Fisher.
Oh, he's not bothering with the gear shift at all.
No, he's got over the line anyway, so no delay to Phil Fisher in the Mallock.
Yeah, the very, very tidy Mallock. So low that the engine rocker cover sticks out through the bodywork.
Yeah, Phil neatly round bottom S. Obviously got it running a bit more cleanly again. Nicely round top. Accelerating away, and he's over the line.
He is, and his time is 33.09, and he's followed by John Green in this lovely X, all sorts of people, BT18, early Brabham.
Yeah, that was almost a Sturmanizer, that one. The X-Everybody almost came out there, and he's into the S's already.
It does sound the business, this car, doesn't it?
Lovely thing.
I'm just going to be quiet for a minute. And over the line.
Over the line with the 33.36, to be followed by Richard George. I don't know if I'm wrong, but the engine in this car doesn't sound 100% crisp. Maybe time for a bit of a look at. It's a Cosworth FVC. Well, maybe it's okay. Anyway, Richard on his way.
Yeah. Richard's up with us now. Did go a trifle wide out of kennel. And he'll be into the S's directly.
Yeah, handsome car this. Ooh, very sharply round the S's. That really sort of swung round on him a bit. Nicely round top S. It sounds crisp enough to me. It's accelerating away and it's over the line.
And Richard does a 33.81. Here's Roger Deans in... I would have thought this car was produced before 1972, but I could well be wrong.
Yes, it's got a sort of 69, 70-ish.
It does.
Look.
It looks 5 years older. Nice and tidy round the S's though. Bellowing away and over the line.
It's a 32.78 for Roger, and our last runner in our first runs is Stuart Ridge on the 2.8 heart-powered Pilbeam MP53. I'm not sure who had this in period.
Roy Lane definitely owned it at some time or another. I don't think he was the first customer.
Stewart.
Neatly round bottom S. Neatly round top S as well, getting the power down. Nice, tidy run from Stewart, already over the line.
26.85, speed 118. That would certainly have got him into the runoff in 1985.